Morning, ladies. Jen from The Purposeful Mom here. I wanted to share with you a video about how I organize or schedule, I guess, whatever you want to call it, a personal planning retreat for myself. I do this about every 6 months, and it's just a way to sit down for a day and just organize goals and projects and habits and things all in one big chunk of time. And that really helps me to stay on task and stay on target and make the time for the things that I want to do and not just the things I feel like I have to do. And I want you to be able to do that too. So several of you had requested that I create a video specifically walking through what I do for a personal planning retreat. So I just wanted to share that with you. I have some notes on my other computer over here. So if you see me looking to the side, I'm not sketchy. I just need to look at my notes. So let's get started. So if you want to have a personal planning retreat, what you'll need to do is gather some supplies. So, and first probably you need a place to do it. And so typically what I'll do is I'll either send my husband with the kids out for the whole day. A couple times I've gone to a coffee shop, although that's not the most convenient thing to do because there's other people there. And then there's been a couple times where I've gone to my husband's workplace when no one is there and just worked in his office. I went to a hotel room once, went to my parents' house once when they were out of town. So there's a variety of things that you can do. Just find a place for yourself and set aside the whole day. And it's super important to set aside the whole day because if you just set aside a time of like 3 to 4 hours, you're not really going to get a whole lot accomplished, and then you're just going to feel rushed and sort of irritated. So make sure everybody has food planned for the day at your home, and then just get away. And it's great to do that. And it's great too because a lot of times I think we feel like on a day-to-day basis we don't have a lot of time to just sit down and take time for ourselves. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of run through of what I do on my day. And my screen keeps going dark for some reason, so I'm sorry if that's happening, but I'll try to keep it from doing that during this video. So what you need to gather is whatever paper planner you use. I've used a variety of paper planners over the years, but I also use Google Calendar to keep track of everybody's schedule. So you could use Google Calendar as well. Materials that tell me dates of events, like the non-negotiable stuff like concerts and church stuff and everything else that you're going to need to put into your planner so you can kind of gather it all into one place. Pens, highlighters, scratch paper to just write notes to yourself on a favorite drink, snacks, treats, earbuds, music that you want to listen to, whatever it is. Grab all those things and get them together so that you can just be prepared for the day. You can get comfortable. I mean, you can wear your comfy pants or light candles or do whatever you want to just make it a real relaxing environment. So the first thing I do is pray over our family's schedule. And pray God's word over your planning or take a Bible verse and kind of assign it to the next few months of the verse that you're going to look to when you are wanting to feel motivated and encouraged in this process of following through on your goals and plans. And then the second thing that I typically do is I evaluate what's worked over the past few months and what hasn't. So you could write it down, or you could just think through it and think, okay, what did I try that didn't work? Or what am I trying that actually is helping? And then you kind of have a good starting point of where to go. Then you need to do a brain dump. Just take a piece of paper, start writing stuff down. What are we going to prioritize the next few months? Where do you see the greatest needs in your family, home, business, church, ministry, whatever? Write down some of those needs and then decide, why is this important to you? What's the eternal value in these things that you want to pursue? What's the long-term value? And that's going to affect what you're going to pick to do. Because sometimes I think we get caught up in little stuff and it's not really that important. So just kind of an overarching principle of what is most important, why is it important, and what's the lasting value. Then what I do is I break those things down. So the priorities, I maybe come up with 7 or 8 things because I'm always thinking of things I want to do. And so then I'm going to break them up into 3 categories: habits, goals, and projects. Could be anything: your faith, finances, family togetherness. If you want to get to the point where you can save the money to start doing monthly piano lessons for your kids, there's really anything that you can choose from. But I want you to pick 3 to 4 things to focus on over the next 3 or 4 months, and maybe like 1 or 2 for each area at the most, because I think we get overwhelmed otherwise. So what's the difference? Goals are large scale, and they're typically broken down into more manageable steps. They're typically long-term things. Habits are things that we need to get in the rhythm of doing each day or week, exercising, kids' morning routines, etc. I usually give myself about a month to institute a habit, maybe longer, because I can be forgetful and not follow through every day. Projects are typically non-emotional things, things like painting a room, cleaning out your yard, mostly one-time things that need to be broken down just a little bit, just so that you can get them done. But they're usually pretty short-term things. So break those down into those 3 different areas. Step 3 that you need to take is setting large-scale goals or focuses for those areas. Could be household, finances, faith, family, etc., like I've talked about before. Whatever areas you've chosen to focus on. Be specific. So when you're breaking down your goals, don't just say, I want to save money for vacation. Say, I want to save $2,000 for vacation, so we need $200 a month, and it's going to come out of our food budget. So then you know specifically what area you need to work on to make your goals. And that's super important for me, because sometimes like I'll just set this random goal like exercise more or get up earlier, but then there's no assigned value to it, so I'm never going to follow through on it. Here's something kind of fun. So I've been talking the past few days about this ultimate productivity bundle, and it's this bundle of resources. A lot of them are printable, a lot of them are courses. They're for goal setting, planning, home management, just a lot of real great things to teach you how to use your time well. And so I just went ahead and I printed out a couple of the printables from the bundle in the it's called iHeart Planners resource in the bundle, and they cost $34 on their own, and I really think they're actually worth their weight in gold because they're really fantastic printables. So for instance, if you're working on your picking the areas and goals you're going to focus on, she's got this cute focus area planner that you can write things down on. She even has them separated into whether they're a habit or a project. She also has, and we'll get to this later in the video, but daily planning sheets. I don't know if you can see these. Main priorities. I'm like moving it the wrong direction. To-dos, notes, and doodles. And these are really good for when you start working on your daily to-do lists, which I'll talk about later in the video. She's got sheets for every month for action plans. So as you start breaking down your goals per month, you could use that. And then also some major projects that you can write down, the item and the goal date. Super helpful to keep things in front of you. I think as moms, we have so many things going on, and so a lot of times we just really need a way to keep things in front of us, keep them visual because they're easy to actually remember and follow through on. You can see my weekly goals sheet. This video thing is really messing me up. On the back that I shared earlier, and that's posted up on our bulletin board in our kitchen. So anyway, so moving on, map out on a sheet of paper what steps you need to take to get those goals. So like I just showed you with the action plan sheets, kind of breaking those things down into what are the steps that I need to take to get to those goals. Monthly and weekly, you can break them down. Habits are probably going to be daily things that you want to break down, like on your daily to-do list or writing in your calendar. There might be, you don't have to necessarily break down everything into daily. Some things can just be broken down into monthly or weekly goals. And then you go through, then you take your calendar and your planner and you go through your schedule of events that aren't optional. So you want to write those into your calendar first, because obviously you're going to have to work around things that you don't have any control over. And this was like something new to me. And I don't know why I didn't realize this before, that this was super important to do, but to write down things that are non-negotiable, because then you can fit in everything around it. And without going, oh, I forgot my son had a band concert and I had this like whole big project planned for this state. So once you do that, then you can write other things into your planner, breaking down your monthly, weekly, and daily goals. and plans for getting those focus areas accomplished, I like to use color-coded pens. They're kind of fun. Make sure your Google Calendar is updated, or your Trello, or whatever you use for kind of an online or organizing system. I like to use Google Calendar because then I can sync with my husband, because then I know what nights he's having a council meeting, and then I can plan a super easy meal for that night, because then I know he's going to leave early and he's going to be gone all night. So have fun with this. In this Ultimate Productivity Bundle, there's a lot of nice, pretty planners. One of them is the Blessed Beyond Life Planner. And I just printed out one from this, and I actually think I'm going to use this. I have kind of a personal planner that I keep in my purse, but I really think I'm going to print this one out for the rest of the year and use it, because she's got these goals and gratitude sheets, which I like. You can write down your monthly goals, and then scripture references to read. I think that's all that's on that sheet. And then these are prayers and praises that you can write down. And she's also got weekly planning sheets, monthly planning sheets, meal planning, weekly self-care sheets, which includes like a separate space to write your own menu, which is nice if you're on a special diet and you want to write that in. Kitchen inventory, monthly spreads. This planner, I mean, it's not super heavy on ink, but it's got some color to it, and so you can print it out at home. It's usually pretty cheap, or if you want to, you could even get it spiral bound at like an Office Max or something. That's the Blessed Beyond Life Planner, which is in the Ultimate Productivity Bundle. So you could use something like that, or whatever planners you have on hand, to start breaking down your goals into monthly and weekly and daily just details, so that you can follow through and take steps to implement those things. Okay, so step 6, have a daily to-do printable. So you can add in daily to-dos as you go. And you're not necessarily going to do that on your planning day, but just have those things ready. So that would be things like basic tasks that you have to get done that really aren't oriented to your goals, like mail off packages to grandparents or stop at the eye doctor and pick up glasses. You don't have to write those things in right now, because obviously those are things that come up. But if you have everything else laid out, then it doesn't feel quite as crazy to stick those other things into like a daily to-do sheet. Kind of like I showed you in the printables that are in the iHeart Planners printables that are in the bundle. So just kind of a word of encouragement here. Thinking ahead is what keeps me from that scatterbrain tendency to just not do anything at all because it's not in front of me. So if I already have my to-do sheets ready to go, I'll be more likely to fill them out. If I have my calendar and planner filled, I'm more likely to follow through on my goals, and I'm less likely to forget things, which I tend to do often. A couple of months ago, my daughter is in speech therapy, and I completely forgot this meeting that I was supposed to have after school with like the administration and the speech therapist, because they just do that for every kid to kind of make sure they're meeting goals and stuff. Completely forgot about it. Just drove home, felt incredibly stupid, cried on the phone when I was talking to the principal. So if you have things ready to go ahead of time, don't be me and forget those important things. There's a statistic that says we're 80% more likely to achieve our goals and plans when we've written them down. 80% more likely. Seriously, how could that revolutionize your time? So, for instance, if you want to form a habit of a stronger devotional life, literally write yourself a note and put it on your fridge or your bathroom mirror so it stares you in the face and you're reminded of it every day. And when you start getting that poster blindness, because you've seen that note too many times, then switch it up. Set a reminder on your phone to do Bible study, or have an accountability partner that you can talk about it with. Our lives are so busy and we have lots of other people's schedules to take care of. And so writing things down is absolutely necessary, in my personal opinion, for getting things done. I used to just fly by the seat of my pants. Doesn't work anymore. Got too many people and too many things to keep straight. So I prefer to have my daily to-dos in a visual place as well as weekly to-dos, which is why I created that weekly family goals printable that I've got behind me here. I'm not super into physically checking off daily progress towards goals, like when people check off every glass of water you drink. So you have 8 each day. I'm just like too much like squirrel to remember to do that. But you might find that helpful to you to have that on a daily goal tracker. Instead, I prefer to break down goals or projects into year, month, weeks, and then schedule in a couple of days during those weeks to work toward my goal. For instance, if I want to complete a house project like painting the 2 bathrooms in the month of March, I'll write into my planner week 1, prime on Tuesday and Thursday, week 2, paint on Monday and Friday. And I can write those projects in once I've written down our schedule and gotten kind of all those non-negotiable items out of the way. That's the time to then start putting in your goals and projects and the times you're going to have to work toward that. Meal planning for me comes last, so I do that. Step 7 is do meal planning. I think I haven't been keeping track of steps. Step 7 is to do meal planning, and that comes last because now we know our schedules. We know what our calendars are going to look like for the next few months. I don't really plan meals for more than 3 weeks at a time. I use a freezer cooking membership site that I use to create freezer meals, and those are really handy to have on hand, and then I usually plan meals for about 2 weeks at a time. But you could absolutely have a rotating schedule of like 14 different meals that you make and just write them into your planner if you just want to keep things super simple. Step 8. Decide what's going to motivate you to get these things done. Do you need some sort of a countdown? Do you need rewards for yourself or for your family when you achieve those goals or when you follow through on those plans? What will it mean for your family if you're able to follow through on these goals and habits and projects? Just sometimes I think we have to visualize, what is that going to look like? What joy and peace and more of a sense of contentment is that going to bring me? And I think that's what really motivates us. It's not just motivation to get things done in order to get things done, but this has value and this has meaning to me. And that's what's going to motivate me to really spend the time to be intentional. So step 9, I'd encourage you at the end of the day, after you're done with all this planning, and I know I talked really fast and I'm sorry, I'm going to try to put all of this together into like an ebook or like a cheat sheet type thing that I can send out via email because I know that this video gets long just because I'm trying to explain everything. But anyway, I'd encourage you at the end of your personal planning retreat day to decompress with something you love to do. Read, listen to music, watch a show, whatever. Just allow yourself to rest and rejuvenate before you go home and just kind of decompress from the day and just being so thankful just for that opportunity that you have. And I know your life is busy and I know you're busy taking care of your kids, but seriously, take time to do this. It's so worth it. It's so worth it. And you really will just feel so much more just at peace and not so, your mind and heart aren't going to be so chaotic because you're going to have these things. You can look and you can say, this is what's ahead of me and this is how I'm going to reach this goal. And it doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. I mean, I fail all the time, but I'm putting things in place to set myself up for success in these areas rather than just throwing my hands in the air, which I did for a super long time and just saying, whatever, I don't even know. Just allow yourself to have this time for yourself, for the benefit of you and your family and for the benefit of your spiritual life too. Just take that time to just pray over, Lord, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to focus on? What's going to make an eternal difference for our family here? And I just really think you can have fun with it. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments of the video or reply to the email that I sent this in. In this video, I mentioned, these resources from the Ultimate Productivity Bundle that I've used throughout this, that I want to use, and that I actually have found some resources that I think, okay, I didn't have this before. And there's a lot more too than just printable planners. There's courses and different things that are going to teach you productivity and how to use your time well. There's one course in the bundle. It's called the Driven Women Grace-Based Productivity Course. It looks absolutely amazing. It is $98. That's how much you pay if you just bought it by itself. But it comes with the bundle, and the bundle is $37, and it's got 45 other resources in it besides that particular course. So just super helpful, super easy, great things to actually implement and take action on, because if we do all this learning and we don't take action, it really doesn't do us any good. So these are resources that you can really take action on a little bit at a time. If you want to buy the bundle, it's only available through tonight. You can visit the link in the notes of this video or go through the email that I sent this video in. Certainly don't have to buy it. You can use whatever you have, but just mentioning that because it really would be helpful in setting up your own personal planning retreat day. So have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.